Hi, everyone. I hope that you're having a very beautiful week. And I am coming to you guys today in my regular setup in my kitchen in my apartment. And I am sharing with you guys the three magnifiers for life. Can you guess what they might be? These magnifiers are things that happen along your life's journey that either makes you more of what you are or less than. Can you take a wild guess what we might be talking about today? Well, let's get started. Let's get into it. I'm happy to come back to you guys in this regular setup. I'm still working out some kinks when it comes to Loom. I'm not quite sure how the heck other creators are doing it, but I'm thinking that I might need to be getting some new cameras and some new equipment so I can get a better audio and visual while still working on the computer and showing you guys things. So better videos to come. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and get into it when it comes to these three magnifiers. So the first magnifier, one of these magnifiers is an item. The other two are related to relationships and family. So let's get into the one that stands by itself. Let's go ahead and play a little bit of a game, you and me, on what you think this might be. It's something that you deal with on a daily basis. If you have more of this thing, you have more power and more options to do things. If you have less of this item, you might be more stressed. You might not sleep at night. You might not be as giving to other people. Can you guess what this magnifier of life might be? You guessed it. First thing we're talking about today is money. Now, in previous videos, we talked about the power of money. And I guess this is kind of a continuation / add-on. If you haven't watched that video, it's in the power of money. I believe it's in one of my first 15 or 20 videos. I'll pop a link below. But that's a good overview. It's a good holistic way to look at money. We're continuing on with the magnifying effect of money. And this is something that pretty much every entrepreneur that I've listened to has mentioned. And that is that whoever you are, so if you are a loving, giving person that is very generous with your family and friends, if you have more money, you just have more generosity, giving, and taking care of your friends and family. But let's play the reversal card for just a minute, shall we? What if you are just a really awful human being? You treat people bad, you hold money over their heads to get them to jump to your tune, you're manipulative, you're not giving, you're very, very insecure, and not good with power, because money is power, and you're not good with power at all. If you get more money, let's just say you win the lottery, because I don't know how else you're going to get money in that regard, but let's just say you win the lottery, you get more money, more power, and it magnifies who you are. So if you are controlling and manipulative and gaslighting, that is just going to help you do more of it. One thing I didn't mention in that video about money that I have this in the back of my mind a lot when it comes to money. I think it's a really, really great way. I'm sure the guys on here will get me. And sorry, ladies, I do have my occasional geek out moments where I'm going to go ahead with Marvel here and say that money, ladies and gentlemen, it's like Thor's hammer. Thor's hammer in mythology, in the comics, it can either destroy whole worlds or it can build them. And money is a magnifier. And so this all really folds into each other very, very well, and I think kind of flows. I think I'm flowing today. It flows because literally, guys, if you're an entrepreneur or if you're trying to have a really healthy lifestyle or like a really nice life with your family and your friends and the people around you, money will give you more power to do that, to the point where you can literally build whole worlds. So I'm going to go on a bit of an off branch here. there are worlds in this life. There are multiple ways and lifestyles that you can live this life. So let's just say that here's an easy one. Here's an easy metaphor for you guys to get to follow me on this. The business world is very, very different from the medical world. Wouldn't you agree? There's a different stereotype. There's different characteristics that you have, different skill sets. The medicine world is very different from the accounting world. Accounting is like speaking a foreign language. I took that class and then some. So there's worlds within how to make money. There's worlds in sports. The equestrian route is very different than soccer, and soccer is very different from football. Animals, like someone who like shows horses versus showing dogs, like similar worlds but different. They're all these different worlds. And money, being like Thor's hammer, gives you the power to build them. And I say them because if you're very smart and if you're very good with it, you can help a lot of people and you can quite literally build a world. These very, very, very successful entrepreneurs that you're watching, that I'm watching, have they not built whole worlds where people are literally revolving around them? Places and things are revolving around them on their success and their mentalities and their wealth, in the decisions, and unfortunately, even in their personal decisions. There's a bad side down to building your own world as well, because you are constricted by the world that you build as well. So if I actually achieve my dream and build a financial empire, I am therefore also bound to it. So be very careful what kind of world and what kind of people and things are in that world that have access to you. So this is the good thing. This is where wealth, money, being a magnifying glass, enhances or destroys who you are. It either enhances or destroys. There's a reason why people who win the lottery do not do well. Like, you're more like, okay, you just beat like phenomenal odds to get this money, but you have no idea how to handle it. So it handles you. Now let's go to the other side of the coin when it comes to this magnifier. On the other side of the coin, let's go ahead and talk about destroying whole worlds. Someone who has never had money before, especially vast amounts of it, doesn't know how, if they haven't prepared themselves, if they haven't gone through the process. And there is a process to gaining actual true wealth. And I'm seeing the pattern over and over and over. And I got to tell you guys, I'm not against this pattern at all. You have to struggle. You have to burn a little bit in magnifying yourself down and getting rid of all the bad distractions, all the habits, all the people, places, and things. They've got to go. And you're going to have to slim down who you are. You're going to have to become very, very ready for what's coming. Because I do believe that true power, it's earned. Now, once you get that power, that doesn't always necessarily mean that you do the right thing with it. There are lots of people that don't do the right thing. But to get the power, to earn the power, you got to grind. You got to burn a little bit in order to get there. And that's why, if you're not ready for it, if you win the lottery, or if you stumble, if your family or friends or whoever stumble into money, unfortunately, it can destroy whole worlds as well. It can destroy a lot. Where all the couple does is they bicker over the money. You're the spender, I'm the earner. Like I'm the saver, I'm the earner. Like, like I save, you earn. Like there's a conflict. And what do we do with all this money? And oh, well, I don't agree with you. Like I know what's best. Well, if you're not gonna do it, I'm gonna divorce you. Or like, oh, like holding money over your kids' heads. Which, by the way, if you have kids, like yes, like your kids should, your kids should respect you, and they shouldn't be giving everything, but you shouldn't hold like basic needs over your kids, right? Like, or your friends, like, oh, if you do this, I'll pay for that. Or do you see how just nasty that is? Just even in the energy that I'm speaking here, it's just nasty, and it can destroy It can destroy someone's world if you're not careful. So money is the first magnifier that I wanted to talk to today, because the more you make, the more it magnifies who you are. So if you are not happy with who you are, I think one of my favorite sayings that I've been saying in these videos so far, my friend, you can change it. You can change yourself if you want to. You just got to want it bad enough. And if you, other than looking in the mirror, if you do earn more money, if you do get access to more money, there's multiple ways that can happen. It can be a really good indicator on who you are as a person and how you react to that. So that is the first magnifier. The second magnifier, my friends, that one is going to be a happy, actually, you know what? Let's continue this guessing game. It's something that everybody wants. Everybody wants this magnifier so badly. It is a social norm that if you don't have this magnifier, you might be considered as a failure. Or what is wrong with you? Why don't you want this thing? Can you guess what magnifier we're talking about when it comes to the second magnifier? And here's a little hint. Here's a hint. This magnifier is about relationships. Can you guess? Yeah, we're talking about marriage, my friends. We are talking about the second biggest magnifier. And in case you guys haven't heard, or maybe you haven't, but there's a lot that can go wonky when like you've been living together, you've been together, like nothing has changed. Like there are scenarios and situations and studies where couples will be together and they'll be living perfectly happily, and then they get married and they go back to the exact same situation they were in before. They are together, they're doing X, Y, and Z. But now there's commitment, and now there's a commitment that is in writing, and it changes things. And it can change things very dramatically. And unfortunately, with the divorce rate up to 60 something plus %, the odds are not in your favor. The odds are not in your favor. So I could probably do like a whole bloody series about marriage, based on sociology, biology, evolution. Like there's like a whole bunch to dig to in here. I'm trying to streamline it for you guys to make it simple on this one. Marriage is a magnifier of your relationship with your other half. It only enhances, it magnifies, it puts more pressure on what's already there. So if you guys don't have a relationship figured out of like, I'm paying the bills and you're doing that, I'm the saver, I'm the earner, or being on the same page with your money, or being on the same page with like working out and taking care of yourself. Like I had an instance that once upon a time where this guy is like, yeah, I'm getting married, I'm gonna let myself go, like I'm going to like, I'm gonna get a beer belly. And I'm just like looking at this guy in horror. I'm like, wait, so like you're gonna lie to your fiance that who she's marrying is not who you really are? Like, okay, like just because you're married does not mean that you have to stop being who you are, or I guess start being who you are in that situation. Like marriage is a magnifier. It puts more pressure on what's there. So a couple of things that I want to jump into, even though I'm streamlining this topic for today. One, you need to make sure, this world is crazy, my friends. Nothing in this world is easy. Make sure you have a stable foundation with your person. You guys need to align, like, and I'm just talking about like, okay, one, I'm talking from countless and countless hours of study, research, and like when I find my person in this lifetime, like that's it. I'm only doing it once, and I would like to get it right. Thank you very much. For myself, for him, and for any potential kids we might be having, like I'd like to get it right. I am not screwing around on this. Like I'm gonna get it right, or as right as I possibly can. I'm imperfectly perfect. Like I'm a human being. So foundation, like you guys need to, like, first things first, like remember how we talked about like picking your burden, about what it is you want to give to this world, what it is that you want to give back to people. back to yourself, back to society, whatever. Like there's multiple ways you can do this. You can be a biologist and save the ocean. You can be a kindergartner teacher and raise good human beings. You can be an excellent mother to your kids, a good spouse. You can be crazy and try to build a billion-dollar financial empire to take care of people. There's a lot of different ways that you can do this. Your lifetime goal should absolutely be in alignment with your person. Here's a really obvious one that just came to my mind when I was just saying those things. If your goal is to be an exceptional mother and raise a self-sufficient, intelligent human being, and your person that you're marrying doesn't want kids, Houston, you have a little bit of a problem. Wouldn't you agree? You have a bit of a problem. Your life's goals on what it is that you want to do in this world, like what contributions you want to give, your lifestyle. Like if I'm a morning person and he's an evening person, which I'm an evening person, try and become a morning person, but let's just say you're opposites, you're not compatible. Don't do it. Don't do it. Make sure you do it right. Marriage is a very, very serious thing. It's not to be taken lightly. And I could go off on a whole rant about that topic. The point that I'm trying to make today is that marriage is a magnifier. So if you have a really good foundation, if you have, if you've already figured out the spark, if you've already figured out compatibility and commitment, if you've got all of it, and you have like a set of like, hey, that's okay and that's not okay, there should be boundaries. If it is a good relationship, there should be boundaries in that relationship. A really obvious one is like, I'm just gonna play my part here. Like, okay, like if my person is out to 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm home by like 10:30 and turned in, and he's by himself with his guys doing God knows what, Houston, that's a bit of a problem, especially if there's other women around. Okay, and let's flip the roles. Okay, let's say that my guy is, working a lot, very busy, goes home, goes to bed like at 10:30. If I'm coming home at 2 a.m. with all my girls and there just happens to be a guy friend in the group, warning, there's an issue there. There's an issue there, okay? You have to have the foundation, the compatibility, the basic same boundaries, and alignment on basic things. And this is going to be a whole video that I can go to in the future that will be coming, because there's many things that you need to align on, but I'm trying to keep it general because we're at 18 minutes already. You need to be in alignment on quite a few things. They say opposites attract. I'm going to call it for what it is. Yeah, right. No, opposites do not attract. They might attract for the moment, but oh, that's new. It's the pretty shiny object. What is this beautiful, wonderful thing that I'm not used to? Okay, yeah, that was fun for a minute, and I'm going to throw this penny back in the river and let someone else pick it up. Okay, look, similar people, those relationships are provenly, scientifically, last a heck of a lot longer. Sometimes those last lifetimes. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking for a lifetime partner here. I'm only doing it once. Lifetime partner, please God, and you got to align on a lot of things: politics, habits, boundaries. There's a long list. We'll get into it in another video. So that's the second magnifier. The third magnifier, and let's go ahead. It's another relationship. It's another relationship aspect. Can you guess what this one is? This magnifier can multiply very quickly. This can put a strain on your finances, on your health, on your sleep, especially in the first few years. It can put a strain on your sleep. And if you're not careful, if you don't have a marriage where you're feeding into each other, if you've got the business and this other magnifier figured out, your marriage, your relationship with your partner could be in trouble. It absolutely can. Can you guess what this third magnifier is? It's kids. I know I sound crazy. I'm not. I promise. Why? Because kids require a lot of time, money, energy, resources, patience. Kids are one of the biggest asset draining things at this time. They're one of the biggest things that can drain you. Time, money, energy, you name it, they'll take it. They need it. And if you love your kids, you're going to give it to them. So, one, be careful on how many kids that you have, because just like companies, they all need their attention. They all need the right ingredients in order to grow correctly. And for every kid you have, it's almost like the entrepreneur thing where like you're at some point your business isn't just going to take off to the by the like multiplying. It's not going to Your business is not just going to multiply. It'll go to the power. Well, that's the positive to the power. In this case with kids, it's kind of a negative to the power, because with each kid is going to take more resources, more time. Just because you got the first one figured out doesn't mean you know what you're doing when you get the second one or the third one. Me personally, too, and I'm done. But to each their own. Some people want really big families. I'm just saying, and I'm not saying if that's right or wrong, because that's none of my business. I'm just trying to highlight the fact that if you have, let's just paint a normal scenario here. Let's say you have 3 or 4 kids. Each kid needs their lunches and schoolwork and attention and personal time with them, and making sure that they're getting exercise, and that they have all their needs met, and that they don't need to go to the doctor. And you multiply that by 4, and you have to have a job, and you have to eat, sleep, and breathe, because you won't be around without that. And where's the time for your partner in all this? And not only that, but if you have 3 or 4 kids, and let's say you went the normal route and you each had one, if you had one like a year or 2 apart, so what is that, like 5 or 6 or 7 years where like you've had a baby in the family, and babies are even more needy up front than like a teenager or a toddler. Like, when was the last time you and your husband went out on a date? When was the last time you had a minute to just breathe with each other? Like, where there wasn't something that needed your attention? Yeah, you're going to have to carve out time. You're going to have to carve out time to spend with your person. You're going to have to carve out time to make sure that your business or whatever is making you money is stable. And sometimes you might need to rotate. Maybe, when the kids are young, the woman stays at home. And as the kids get older and turn into toddlers, or God forbid, teenagers that might need some straightening out every now and then when all the hormones come in, it's like, okay, husband, your turn. It's your turn. I'll go close. I'll go pull in the money. I'll go double down on my career. I'll go grow my own business or get another one. And you get to deal with the hormones and the whole, this is your arena. Whatever floats your boat. These 3 magnifiers: money, marriage, and kids. And kids can multiply very quickly if you aren't careful. These magnifiers will either make you into the best human being that ever existed, or it can really, really pull on you and make you struggle. And just like with Thor's hammer, you need to have a foundation, because you can either build something really amazing that will last and have an impression, whether that's on your friends, your family, on your kids, or maybe if you're on a public place like here and you do occasionally share that, like maybe you can help inspire someone else to live a beautiful life. The choice is up to you. And that's one thing that I want to finish this video with today, is that really and truly, these magnifiers are just that. They are magnifiers. They magnify what is already there. And if you are prepared, and if you have the right conversations with yourself about money, about your kids, about your partner, with your partner about where you want to go in the direction, and with your kids about what is and is not acceptable, you can change the foundation that is being magnified if you want to. Or even better, I like this a little bit better. You can set that foundation so that no matter how much magnification, no matter how much pressure is applied to whatever situation it is we're talking about with these magnifiers, that it can stand the test of time. So today, these magnifiers are in this whole video is just a little tip and trick about how to be prepared for life, to make you think just a little bit more. That if you are looking to get more money, thinking about like, hey, like I don't want to be someone who just constantly holds on to money. Like I want to find an orphanage or a pet shelter or something to donate to. I want to be the person that is abundantly giving back the abundance that I get, that I'm sharing the wealth, not just with myself, but with other causes that are worthwhile, because I want to make sure that I am the person that I started out this adventure with. So if I get $1 billion, that I'm still at the core the same person. Some things will change to deal with that, but the core remains the same. With your marriage, and I'm going to throw this really quickly in here at 26 minutes, is that prenups are not a bad idea, because if it goes to hell, and chances are against you and me, unfortunately, marriage is at 64% failure rate and higher and climbing. A prenup will protect both of you, is that while we both love each other, while we are on the same page, well, I want the best for you and you want the best for me. Well, let's put it down in writing and get the government out of its sticky little fingers, out of our relationship, out of our marriage from the very start, so that we can have a solid foundation. And this also means spending time with your person and not doing like a 6-month whirlwind romance. Oh, I love you. I love you. When you've only scratched the surface on who this person is. And now let's throw on marriage, and let's throw on a kid and another kid. And then in 5 years, you're wondering why that marriage fell apart, because there was never a foundation in which that magnification could hold on to, that could stand the test of that magnification and of that pressure. Because magnification could also be substituted with power or pressure, however you want to put it. So I hope this, guys, helps you when you're thinking about your life and your choices and about what you want to do. And that's all I try to do on this video, is I just try to get the person on the other side of this video, on the other side of this camera. I'm just trying to get you to think a little bit. Just like it helped me with the other videos that I have watched. And I'm compounding a bunch of information from hours of study and research, that hopefully, and condensing it down and simplifying it with a few metaphors and a few situations. So hopefully that it will help you, my dear friend on the other side. And so I am rooting for you. Continue building, continue grinding. And someday soon, I hope that you get everything that you're looking for. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video. We're going to talk about, I'm talking to my females, I'm talking to the ladies on the other side of the camera about how to invite and not chase when it comes to this crazy dating world, because I've been seeing a lot of it lately. Hope to see you guys in the next one.